Have you ever wondered what it really takes for a cryptocurrency like Pi Network to hit that magical $10 mark? I'm not talking dreams or hype, I'm talking cold, hard facts. Because listen, everyone's throwing numbers like $314 and $1,000 around like Pi coin is already the next Bitcoin. But let's take a step back. What if I told you there's a very specific roadmap, a real one, that every coin that broke past $10 actually followed? And right now, Pi Network is only halfway there. In today's video, we're going to break that roadmap down piece by piece and find out whether Pi Network is actually on the path to greatness, or if we're all just caught up in wishful thinking. We're talking about real adoption, media fire, exchange listings, limited supply, and yes, even that Pi Core team silence that has become a hot topic in the Pi Network news lately. So before you say Pi to the moon, hold up. Let's take a closer look at where the rocket is even headed. But first, let me ask you, do you believe Picoin can actually reach $10 before the end of this year? Or do you think it's going to hover around $2 to $3 like XRP once did? Drop your answers in the comments below. And don't forget to check out my previous videos to catch up on the latest Pi Network updates. The link is waiting for you in the description. Now show your Pi pride. Drop Pi Network to the moon and your country name in the comments so I can shout some of you out in the next video. And if you love getting real updates that cut through the hype and actually make sense, then like this video, share it with every pioneer you know, and hit that subscribe button to support the channel. We talk about everything from Pi Network KYC problems to Mainnet launch strategies, and we do it with no sugarcoating. Join our growing community on Telegram and Facebook too. Links are in the description. And just a quick reminder, this video is for entertainment purposes only. It's not financial advice. And I'm not telling you to buy, sell, or transfer anything. I'm here to help us all understand what's going on so we can make better choices as pioneers in the Pi crypto movement. All right, let's get into it. Now, the first thing that has to be said, and I'm being totally honest with you, is that Pi Network isn't just going to wake up one day and be worth $10. Nope, that's not how any of this works. I started digging into what actually happens before a coin skyrockets, and I saw a clear pattern. It's the same pattern we saw with Bitcoin, Ethereum, and even XRP. There are real milestones a coin must pass before it ever smells double digits. And right now, Pi is still at the early checkpoint of the Mainnet journey. Let's start with something Pi is already doing right, media hype. Now this is big. If you've been online lately, you've seen the buzz. Pi Network is trending on Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, everywhere. People are talking. But here's the catch, social media hype isn't enough. Every major coin that hit $10 or more had something extra. They got into the mainstream. I'm talking about TV commercials, Times Square billboards, sports sponsorships, the big leagues. Bitcoin didn't just trend on Twitter, it broke into CNN and CNBC. You'd hear about it from your dad watching the news or your aunt who doesn't even know how to use Instagram. That's what true mainstream adoption looks like. Pi isn't there yet. Until Picoin is front and center in places like New York Square or sponsors a big football club, it hasn't fully arrived. So yes, Pi Network news and buzz are good. But unless it crosses into that traditional offline spotlight, the Pi price prediction won't jump into orbit. Next up is something that could either make Pi a legend or crush its price. Supply. Listen, if you keep printing Pi coins like they're candy, the value won't go up, it'll go down. That's just basic economics. Limited supply creates demand. That's why Bitcoin halving events are such a big deal. They cut the reward for mining in half, and that scarcity drives price growth. But here's the catch. Pi Network isn't doing that aggressively. In fact, recent updates suggest the opposite. King Halbert himself warned us that from now until the end of the year, the Pi Core team might be releasing 1.5 million Pi coins per day to people who passed KYC. That's a huge amount of supply hitting the market daily. And what do most people do when they get their Pi? Especially in developing countries where a little money goes a long way. They sell. So, we're stuck in this cycle. More coins get released, more people sell, and the price tanks again. That's why it's hovering low instead of soaring. Unless Pi introduces some strict supply control, like burning coins or reducing emissions, the price isn't going to rise meaningfully. And this ties directly to the ongoing Pi KYC problem where many users are still stuck in tentative approval limbo, adding to uncertainty. And let's not forget the elephant in the room, crypto exchanges. Right now, Pi is dancing around smaller platforms like BitGert and OKX, which is great. But let's be real. These aren't Coinbase, they're not Binance, they're not Kraken. If you want big investors and worldwide adoption, you need to be where the big money is. Until we get a Pi Network Binance listing or something equivalent, it's not going to explode. Think about this, Bitcoin really started booming when it got easy to buy. Coinbase made it simple. Square Cash app lets you get some with a few taps. If Pi Network wants to reach that $10 dream, it needs to get listed on platforms where your average person can buy it without opening 5 weird tabs or using some complicated wallet. Until that happens, we're stuck in the underground. Now here's something a lot of people overlook. FOMO, fear of missing out. This is powerful. At Pi's peak buzz, people were buying at $2, even $3, just because they were afraid to miss out. They believed in the dream, heard the hype, it's the next Bitcoin, and went all in. The momentum was huge, but now, the urgency is gone. The hype remains, but the get in before it's too late energy is fading. How to bring that back? Communication. A simple update or meme from the Pi Core team could reignite the excitement, but silence is causing a drop in confidence, and with no FOMO, there's no pump. For Pi to attract investors, the team needs to step up. Now let's talk about institutional interest. When big funds or companies invest, it validates a coin. That's what happened with Bitcoin. Has Pi hit that level yet? Not yet. Until big players jump in, Pi remains in the potential zone, not a powerhouse. But don't worry, this isn't doom. It's a reality check. Pi has huge potential, but execution matters. The good news, Pi's already making progress. The community is strong, businesses are adopting Pi, and real adoption is on the rise. That's the heart of the Pi Network launch mission. But we need more. We need clearer KYC solutions. We need supply control. We need major exchange access. We need global FOMO. We need institutional backing. If those 6 pieces fall into place, boom, $10 isn't just a dream, it's a target. But until then, let's keep our feet on the ground and our minds sharp, because the last thing I want is for any of you, my fellow pioneers, to get caught up in hype and lose your hard-earned Pi, or miss the signs that tell us when the real rocket is launching. So now I turn it over to you. Do you believe Pi Network will hit $10 in the next year? Or are we still 2 or 3 major steps away? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one, and I love how smart and passionate this community is. Let's keep learning, keep building, and keep pushing this movement forward. Alright, so here's the recap. We broke down what it really takes for PiCoin to break that $10 barrier. We talked about the media hype, the supply challenges, the need for exchange listings, reigniting global FOMO, sparking institutional interest, and everything else in between. The road is clear, but it's up to the core team and the entire Pi Network ecosystem to drive us there. If you enjoyed this video and want more honest, hype-free Pi Network news and updates, then do me a huge favor. Hit that like button, share this with your fellow pioneers, and smash that subscribe button so we can keep growing this channel and bringing you more deep dive updates. Now let me ask you, what do you think is the most important factor Pi Network needs to reach $10? Drop your answer in the comment section below, and if you've got any questions or insights of your own, feel free to add them too. Let's keep the conversation going and help each other grow. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay safe, stay smart, and keep believing in the Pi Network revolution.